I am here now with the most awarded performer in Tony history, with a record-breaking 6 Tony Awards. She has 2 Grammys and an Emmy. Now she's leading the highly anticipated revival of Gypsy. Please welcome Audra McDonald back here on GMA. It's great to have you here. You know how much I simply adore you. You are a star, my dear, my dear. But I didn't realize you were also a child extra in Gypsy when you were 10 years old.
Yes.
Now you're Mama Rose.
Yeah, now I'm Mama Rose. Yeah, when I grew up in Fresno, California, I was one of Uncle Jocko's kiddies in our local production there, and I wore a Viking hat with the horns and blonde braids with a sword and a breastplate, and I sang a couple of moments from the Ride of the Valkyrie.
We should have known then at the age of 10, but now as Mama Rose, so how are you going to bring your flavor to it?
Well, you know, it's interesting growing up and knowing what I knew about Gypsy and, you know, all the iconic sort of performances, you know, without having really been inside the character. I always thought, well, she's a monster of a mother, and just like this sort of horrible stage mother who does these horrible things to her children. And now as you know, a woman who's 54 in 2024, I realized, no, this is a woman without many options, but who had passion and ambition, and maybe she didn't always make the right choices, but I don't see her as a monster anymore. I just see her as someone who really, really was passionate and wanted to reach for more than society wanted her to have.
Interesting take on that.
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of change for me.
I love that. And of course, this is not the first revival of this great show, but it's the first time that 3 black women are the lead roles in this.
Yes.
Rose, Louise, and June.
Yes.
What does this milestone mean to you?
I'm so honored, first of all, and thrilled that the estates of Gypsy are allowing us to do this. I think it feels very resonant. We're not changing a single line of dialogue. We're not changing any of the music. But in 2024, I think some of these lines and some of the situations that the characters find themselves in have the resonance will be, it'll hit in a different place coming from a black woman. There's a line that Rose says at the end of the show. She says, "I was born too soon and got started too late." That hits in a different way when it's coming out of anybody's mouth, but especially a black woman's mouth, you know, given the struggles within society that black women have had to face for generations.
And the young woman who plays Louise, Joy Woods,
yes.
She said that she watched your YouTube videos to kind of get some insight.
Yes.
Have you been giving her advice?
Well, you know, I've just been trying to be open and be there for them and try to mentor them in any way that they need. But Joy Woods and Jordan Tyson, the other girl who's playing June, they're both incredible young actresses, young black actresses coming up on the Broadway scene. And so I'm excited for us to also discover this together, especially under the tutelage of George C. Wolfe, our incredible director.
Oh, no.
Incredible.
People are very eager to see this production.
Yeah.
Have you reached out to the other Mama Roses set? Because there's some really
brilliant, I mean, gosh, iconic performances, you know, from Ethel Merman, Angela Lansbury, Tyne Daly, Bernadette Peters, Patti LuPone, Imelda Staunton. You know, honestly, I haven't, you know, to the ones that I could possibly reach out to, but I think I may in a moment to ask about stamina.
Really?
It's, you know, it's considered like the King Lear of musical theater roles. So it is a very difficult role. She is, you know, she's basically a bulldozer who is the motor of the show and sort of bulldozes her way through life and through this show. And so for me, it's going to be about how do I keep this up 8 times a week, you know, belting out those great numbers like Everything's Coming Up Roses.
Who was the actress who said that after she would have to go back to her dressing room, after she would sing?
Oh, Ethel Merman famously said that after she would sing Everything's Coming Up Roses at the end of the first act, she'd go back to her dressing room and just stare at a wall until they said places, and then she'd go on and do the second act, and I get that now.
You do?
I get it. Yeah.
Can we talk about your husband, Will, also a leading man on Broadway?
Yes,
on Broadway.
He is.
So does he run lines with you?
He does. You know, being married to a fellow Broadway performer, you know, there's a shorthand. So he was doing Neil Diamond on Broadway all of last year, and that I was sort of holding down the fort at home with our kids and whatnot, and now he's doing that for me. It's a great sort of tag team thing, and he does run lines with me. Thank goodness. Yeah, we're there for each other in that way.
And in every way that you are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations on all.
Thank you so much, Robin.
You just need an Oscar and you're going to have the EGOT.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. You can get, I'm putting it out to the universe.
Okay.
It's going to happen, Audra. It's going to happen.
Thank you.
Gypsy begins performances at the Majestic Theater on Broadway on November 21st. Tickets are available right now.